This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. Today is August 1st. After carrying the latest piece of the country's Tiangong space station to orbit on July 24th, a Chinese Long March 5B rocket re-entered Earth's atmosphere on Saturday, creating a dazzling, albeit somewhat unsettling, display as it crashed down in the Indian Ocean. A Twitter user named Nazri Suleiman captured a 27-second clip of the rocket's first stage breaking up in the skies above Kuching, Malaysia. Suleiman and others initially confused the spacecraft with a meteor shower until astronomers correctly identified the debris as the remains of a Chinese rocket. On Saturday afternoon, U.S. Space Command confirmed the Long March 5B re-entered Earth's atmosphere at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. China said most of the debris burned up in re-entry over the Sulu Sea between the Philippines and Malaysia. Unlike many modern rockets, including the SpaceX Falcon 9, the Long March 5B can't reignite its engine to complete a controlled atmospheric re-entry. That has led to worry about where the rocket would land every time China has launched one. On a test flight in 2020, remnants of a Long March 5B fell on villages in the Ivory Coast, leading to property damage. Following Saturday's re-entry, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson criticized China for lack of transparency. The People's Republic of China did not share specific trajectory information as their Long March 5B rocket fell back to Earth, he said on Twitter. All spacefaring nations should follow established best practices and do their part to share this type of information in advance to allow reliable predictions of potential debris impact risk, especially for heavy-lift vehicles like the Long March 5B, which carry a significant risk of loss of life and property. China plans to employ the Long March 5B at least 2 more times. In October, the rocket will carry the third and final part of the Tiangong to space. Next year, it will do the same with the country's Shuntian Space Telescope. And Indonesia is blocking residents from accessing various online platforms after those services failed to comply with a July 29th regulatory deadline, reports Reuters via The Verge. Among the affected platforms are PayPal, Steam, and Yahoo, owned by Engadget's parent company Apollo Management. Under the country's 2020 MR5 law, companies labeled as private electronic system providers had until this week to register with a government database or face an outright ban. Similar to India's restrictive 2021 IT law, MR5 gives Indonesia the power to force online platforms to take down content the government deems unlawful or a threat to public order. In instances involving urgent requests, services have 4 hours to take action. According to Reuters, a handful of tech companies, including Google, Meta, and Amazon, rushed in recent days to meet Friday's deadline. Indonesia may restore access to some of the online services that are currently blocked in the country, provided they register with the government. PayPal and Valve did not immediately respond to Engadget's request for comment. Samuel Abrajani Pangarapan, the general director of Indonesia's Ministry of Communication and Information, told a local news network that the government could temporarily lift restrictions on PayPal to allow users to withdraw their money. Organizations like the Electronic Frontier Foundation and Human Rights Watch have criticized Indonesia's new content moderation rules. MR5 is a tool for censorship that imposes unrealistic burdens on the many digital services and platforms that are used in Indonesia, said Linda Lakhtir, Asia legal advisor at Human Rights Watch. It poses serious risks to the privacy, freedom of speech, and access to information of Indonesian internet users. Many Indonesians have also come out against the law, using hashtags like BlokerCominfo to voice their opposition to the government's actions. On Saturday, Pangarapan dismissed those criticisms, saying the measure would help protect the country's internet users. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
SpokenLayer.